election observation or elections is a very specialized area. So you need to engage with it for some time to build expertise. Even in terms of visibility, there's no way you can create visibility for an institution that is formed and then operates for 4 months and disperses. 5 years down the line, or in the case of a referendum, where maybe 2 years down the line, then you form another outfit, then you see there's a problem. First of all, you cannot get the visibility. Even the staff working in this institution that form the domestic observation initiative, you cannot even gain the expertise to engage with these issues properly. So you could say it has been ineffective historically because of the manner in which we have been approaching it. And that's what we want to change through ELOG. We have people on the ground, what we are calling long-term observers, so that at least you keep track on development on the ground. If things are boil over, we have even a peace component where we have set up an advisory and intervention panel that can intervene if things boil over with the various protagonists. And fourthly, we are now employing technology. We employed parallel vote tabulation for the first time during the referendum, and we intend to do it during the election, so that we can comment on the process on real time from when the polling stations open, and eventually do a projection of the results, so that if there's tampering, then we can at least detect it and say these are not the true reflections of the vote as I was captured by our observer. So we put in place a number of mechanisms that will make a difference in our view compared to what happened or transpired in 2007.
As the Election Observation Group, we have identified 7 thematic areas or 7 processes within the electoral process that we think are critical to be observed in the pre-election environment, observing political and campaign financing, the implementation of the Political Parties Act, media monitoring, how the media is covering the election period, how various institutions and actors are participating within the electoral process, including the conduct of political parties and other actors during the campaign. At the recruitment level, and of course being an nonpartisan citizen observer group, we recruit observers that are in no way partisan or are in no way aligned to any of the political party. PVT is a scientific methodology for observing elections. It goes by various other names depending on which jurisdiction it's being implemented. Some of them call it a quick count, others call it a swift count, others call it a rapid assessment of the electoral process. It's essentially a methodology that relies on the use of statistics, database, and of course the use of the human observer. In terms of the 2013 election observation preparedness, what ELOG has done is make provision for utilizing PVT as one of the methodologies for election day observation, that of course complementing the work of general observers.
PVT comes in handy to play that role of providing independent scrutiny but also independent safeguard to that process, but also independent verification of the outcome itself. And this is why PVT will be very, very essential. PVT is useful to citizens because it secures citizens' right to vote, but also enables security of a fair electoral process and outcome. So that is the guarantee that we can get when we use PVT. And that is the significance why PVT in these forthcoming elections is something that we, as citizens of Kenya, must look to and rely on and ask for and insist on.
These elections are very important. They are a milestone in Kenya's democratic development. We've been trying to transit into a democracy for the past 20 years, and we have had false start. If we manage these elections properly and get a popularly elected president, then we'll say Kenya has transited into a democracy. for the first time. For the first time since the introduction of multi-party democracy.
We cannot accept to promote violence. So for me, absence of violence is the first sign of wanting peace. And so we must appreciate that where these have happened, then I'm challenging all Kenyans, those who have caused this spirit of hatred and killings of one another, to come out and ask for forgiveness.
Peace is very essential for our progress, and I urge all Kenyan citizens to really go for peace. And as I said earlier, peace is obtained when there is justice.